The dream still lives, and my dream is to live in a world where people treat those that they hate with the same love that they would treat those that they care about.
You hate immigrants? No immigrant food. And when I say no immigrant food, I mean no immigrant food, nothing. No Mexican food, no Caribbean food, no Dominican food, no Asian food, nothing. Only potatoes. No spice. Because no immigrants, no spice. Don't ever forget that. Both figuratively and literally, no spice. And I know some people would take that. I know there's some people right now who'd be like, well, you know what, Trevor, take your immigrants, take your spice, and get the hell out of here. You say that now, because you've never lived a life without spice. But don't ever forget, a life without spice was so hard, that it made white people sail around the world to find it. It wasn't regular sailing. This wasn't like a Disney cruise. These people sailed at a time when they believed if you went that way, you would fall off the edge of the earth and die. And still, some man out there was eating some white lady's cooking, and he was like, I can't do this shit anymore. I'm sailing that way. But what if you die? At least it's exciting.
Can I just say as an African, I take a little bit of offense when human rights groups in Europe say, you cannot send refugees to Africa. Those are human beings. And who lives in Africa? Get the f*** out of here, man. What does that mean? Yo, let me tell you something. I know some parts of Africa have it tough, but we've also got cities, we've got Wi-Fi, you know? We've also got racist white people. You guys left them behind, acting like we don't got shit. I really feel like we don't speak about this enough is people don't realize how often men are experiencing a lack of intimacy. And the only place that they can experience that intimacy is through sex. We've created a society where men are so afraid to be vulnerable with each other, to be, sensitive with each other, to care for each other, to love each other. Even saying that as a guy, you always have to change and be like, you can't just say, I love you. You have to be like, I love you, dog. You know what I mean? You got to throw it like you can't just say it. And it's interesting because that is where I do feel women have done a much better job of being there intimately for each other. Not sexually, but intimately. And I think we take for granted how much in society men who say sex is the thing they're not getting are actually struggling with a lack of companionship, of intimacy, of being in a space with a person where they're sharing, everything from serotonin to endorphins to what humans need to feel, And I hope we can change that conversation just a little bit more. I hope we get to the place where guys go, oh, I actually didn't need the sex. I needed to be held. And I live in a society where it's hard to be held unless I'm having sex. Because as guys, you can't just go to a guy and be like, just hold me. True. There are many sex workers who've talked about this, where they'll talk about how many men will pay them and then say, hey, can we just talk? Can you just hold me? If you're trying to get to know someone, the most efficient way to do it is not to question them. Because if you're questioning them, they're answering you. If they're answering you, they answer you based on your questions. If you merely exist with them, I find that the person will be, when they be, you will know who they are. I never thought it was possible. I was the first in my family to board an airplane. I was the first in my family to buy a new car, a house. I was the first in my family. Wow. So I never dreamed of the things that I've been able to achieve now. I never dreamed that I would be here. I realize that I'm living beyond my dreams now, which is a space I think most people should try to get to. The only thing scarier than accepting who we are is accepting that we don't know who we are going to be when we let go of the things that have made us who we are today. Yeah. I would get so attached to that that then I would be afraid to let go of the things that may be holding me back because I don't want to lose me. I don't want to lose me. Yeah. I'm me. I know me. What if I'm not me? I love me. And if I want to lose me, do I still love me? And that doesn't diminish me or who I think I am. It just allows me to almost exist infinitely and go, well, then I can try to be whatever me exists. Yeah.
Why did you want to leave the show? What was it?
Well, it's not that I wanted to leave the show. It's that I needed to find a way to make time for everything else that's happening in life. I realized during the pandemic, everyone talks about a work-life balance, but that almost, creates the idea that your work and your life are two separate things.
Yeah.
When in fact, I came to realize during the pandemic, it's a life balance. It's your life. You're living your life
Yeah.
right now. I'm
Yeah.
living my life
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Your life doesn't stop because you're working or not working. And
Yeah.
so if you want to make more time for family, if you want to make more time for friends and what you want to do and everything, you know, time is the one thing we cannot increase.
I love that.
You know, so it was a case of like, make more time, find a way to create that time. We are so attached to the idea of who we are, the story that we've told ourselves, the story that we continue to tell ourselves, who we are, who we wish to be, who we should be, whether it's designed by what our parents always said about us. You're such a quiet child. You're such a lovely person. You're so kind. You're so polite. And you go, that I am, I should be then. You know, whatever it may be. But sometimes I find I would get so attached to that that then I would be afraid to let go of the things that may be holding me back because I don't want to lose me. Because who is me if I don't have the pain? Who is me if I don't have the trauma? Who is me if I don't have the mistrust? I don't want to lose me. I'm terrible at making friends, partially because I don't trust people easily. I exist in a world where I can be friendly with many people. But, you know, it takes me a while to accept that this person is actually a part of my life. I have an idea of putting something on that person where I may need them means that they may disappoint me. And then on the other side of it, them needing me means I could be in the position to disappoint them. You know, and so as we learn people, I find we learn what they can and cannot do. We learn who they are or are not. And it's always situational for me. You know, that's when I'll call you like a friend, is that I know how you are in most situations. I can say what got me where I am today was taking a chance and doing what I love. I think too many people focus on doing what they think is successful versus doing what they love. So people go, I want to be a doctor or an accountant or a lawyer or in entertainment, I want to be famous. Why? Because of the money. But you don't realize life is so long that you're going to live this life hating it for the money. Why do you want money? So I can enjoy my life. What if you could enjoy your life doing what you love? If your job was something you love, you don't need as much money as you think you do. But the thing is, everyone tells you that money is what's going to make you happy, and it doesn't make you happy. What I get, and I've realized, is in the United States of America, if you want to win an election, all you need to have is a strange voice. Yeah, forget policies, forget ideas, that's boring. You come out there, here are my ideas, boo, normal sounding ass bitch. Now you can go back as far as you want, like JFK, he didn't speak normal. He had that thing, it was like, that's not normal. I don't care what anybody says, that's not normal. No American presidents speak normal, none. Bill Clinton, he didn't speak normal. He always did that thing where it sounded like he was trying to seduce the audience. You know? He'd be like, I do not have sexual relations. What are you doing? George Bush, he didn't speak normal. And then we're gonna bomb a totally different country. Barack Obama. Joe Biden. That's why the most important thing you understand Trump, that was the weirdest of all. Volume on his voice all over the place, inflection where it didn't make sense. Do you know how hard it was to figure out where to put the volume on your TV when watching a speech? I had to sit there and write it like a shitty DJ the whole time as you speak, because you wouldn't know where it would happen. He'd be up there. I think as Americans, we try and try, so try, big trying, all trying, and it is. What? It's not normal.